Hey guys, welcome to our Sometimes Tuesday Paintapalooza. We come on sometimes on Tuesday, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning. We are going to be painting thrift flips and thrift finds, things that have sold on our website at JamieRayVintage.com, and things that have not sold that we just need to get done and update the photos on. So when you come on, if you have questions, Caitlin is going to be on here for a little bit, and she'll be dropping links. She's got to go do back to school night with my cute little nephews. I think Jack's back to school night is Wednesday, but we have football games, so it'll be fine.
He'll be all right. He's been going to the same school his whole life,
changed.
And he knows this teacher. He's had her for other things.
I have a school map, so all I have to do is be like, there's your class. It's Mrs. Yates. He already knows who she is. I actually am super impressed with myself that I got the school supply list early. I ordered everything from Sam's Club and Amazon, so I don't have to go to Walmart and deal with that situation. And anybody that lives in Utah knows back to school at Walmart, there's a lot of kids in Utah. So excited to get going. I'm going to be putting IOD on a few things. I'm gonna do that first. Zeb, I think this needs to be sanded.
You think we should sand that first?
Yeah, it's a lot of texture.
Okay, I'll get to it in a minute. This needs some anvil here and maybe a little dab there and dusted.
Okay, I will take care of that.
I cut the piece off. I made it match pretty closely. I sanded it down. If you missed Saturday's thrift haul, this little chair here had one side complete over here and one side of this was broken off. So now they match pretty closely. And that was an easy fix. It does need a pretty serious dusting. This needs some glue. And
Caitlin's boys live in a neighborhood that's growing rapidly, so their school is insane. I picked them up one time, and they live in an area where everybody's too close to be bussed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would die having to deal with all this pickup every day. Caitlin is awesome and does that. Jack's school, we live in an old neighborhood, and because of that, Jack's school is as full really as it's going to be unless they change guidelines, and it's actually the smallest, one of the smallest, if not the smallest elementary school in the district. They have like maybe 500 kids. So
all right, but I feel like
I'm telling them what Jack actually goes to school at.
Okay, I'm not telling them where you go. I'm just saying it's a pretty small school. And
not that we don't love you all, but internet safety.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be getting in there. We have like you have to buzz to get in, and if Karen don't know you, she ain't letting you in. All the exterior doors are locked. It's actually one of the most secure little schools I've ever seen. And this year we have to get fingerprinted to even volunteer in class. I think my transfers might
I'm fine with. I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah. So we do have to make it to back to school night, at least for a second. Otherwise we got to go to the district.
Okay. So decoupage on this. I used the bottom of this in another piece. I don't know if this is going to give me a full wrap. So I also have this one, which was a prototype. Sorry, you can't have that one. It's not available. But this one is.
I found it. They were just hiding in the drawer where they're supposed to be, but I've been trying to keep the new stuff together.
Okay, we're going to get pretty close going around.
Oh, that's going to be cute.
I know it. And the inside's good. So a couple of these things haven't sold. A lot of them have.
Your mic is going robotic. Can you turn it off, slap it, and put it back on? I know you don't like slapping electronics, but that's sometimes what you have to do.
How about now? Luckily, I haven't said much yet.
Yeah, but we're live, Eliza. Is Odelia taking you to back to school? Or are you going with Paige?
Okay, hopefully that fixed it. I won't know because I can't hear myself.
I'll check it with Caitlin.
Paint this. We're going to go white linen. I'll get this painted first.
I have no scissors. Oh, never mind.
I was going to say there was some over there.
These ones are dark handled, and one they're on the bottom of the drawer. Can't find them. Holy moly. They said it seems better.
All right.
That was a lot of effort to find some transfers. I promise we did think about this ahead of time.
I feel like we've been prepping for the last hour, getting everything set up, and I did some sanding and cutting beforehand.
I went by the shop. I got some of the milk pink color of the month. Oh, no, that's not where I want that.
So I'm going white because I'm doing this light color underneath. I'm only going to paint the outside lip. I'm going to leave this alone.
Leslie, it is a Paintapalooza. The robot is back.
The robot
Sounds like
is
it's
back.
Jamie.
Oh, no.
Wonder if it's the cords.
No, I don't think so.
All right, how about now?
I could reset all the sound.
Can you hear me? What is it sound okay? Does it sound like I'm a robot? I'm waiting for comments. I'm okay now. Okay.
Maybe it was you the whole time.
Caitlin, would you drop the link to the Jamie's Closet collection?
Oh, yes.
Zeb came home from camping. He took Jack and one of his friends camping last night for a little back to school camping. Redrick didn't wind up going because it was raining and he's not about that life. And he came home and our closet has exploded all over our bed because somebody made a comment.
This is what happens when I leave Jamie home alone.
Yeah, I cleaned the stove really good, like scrubbed it with Barkeep's Friend, and I organized my closet. But somebody made a comment, and they were kind of right about my saggy britches in the video. And I was like, you know what? The problem is my closet has clothes from size small to all the way up to 2X. And what happens is I just get lazy and I just grab whatever's there because I can't see stuff. So I have removed everything that doesn't fit, except for a few things that I don't care if they're a little baggy. I'm not willing to give up. And then there's some things that I love.
Some things are baggy on purpose, though.
Yeah. Well, and some things that I love that I'm going to replace. Like I have some Free People romper overalls that I listed on our website, and I'm going to replace them with new ones. But I told myself I could not buy anything else new until I went through my closet, which if you have ADHD, it sometimes is painful to force yourself to take care of stuff you don't want to do when there's things that you do want to do. But I have to like mentally just force myself to do things. Like, here's a little prize. You can have some new stuff if you go through your closet. So anyways, all that to say.
Well, and your birthday's coming up. Yeah. So, you know, you gotta get ready for that.
You don't buy me clothes.
No, I'm not buying you clothes. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, Seth doesn't buy me clothes. But I do have a lot. And some of it's just because I own a clothing boutique. Like, we sell clothes at our shop, and we have a ton.
She has one of everything over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of my job, and it just gets to be a little much. So I am listing stuff as I have time to steam it and photograph it. So there's a collection. It's called Jamie's Closet. So if you're interested in it, that's the things that'll be in there. And there will be a myriad of sizes. So don't
also shoes are in there.
Just one pair. I got these Pendleton boots. I ordered a sample in for the shop, and we didn't wind up carrying them. And I already have my black rain boots, or no, my brown rain boots that I wear all the time. And I just never wound up wearing those. So I put some new rain boots in there at a good deal. I got shoes last year. I did. But I bought them myself. Except didn't buy them. What shoes did I get last year, Vicky? Was that when I got my Birks? My black ones and my camel colored ones? Okay. 10 minutes in and I've got one little transfer on here. Isn't that cute? So this
I painted a book box.
Oh, and you're doing more than me. I do need to put a little bit of sealer on here. When I seal things like this, I seal like the whole side and try to feather it in. I'll probably use a gloss sealer so that way it matches, or you could just leave it as is. But I'm going to put a plant in here. I think we have an ivy in the shop that needs to go in here. And if I don't seal it and then they water it, that could not be good. So I'm going to go ahead and seal this. But Teapot didn't have a lid, but it makes a really good little planter. She said, yep, I was looking at the same time. So, well, there you go. I actually have a new pair that I am interested in, but I might wait till next year because last year I got 2 pairs and I usually only get 1. I want the new white Birkenstocks that have a back to them.
Oh, 4-wheel drive mode.
Yeah. Because it is, sometimes I do need the back. Sometimes we'll be moving furniture and my Birks like slip off.
We'll lose one and we can't stop and get it.
Yeah.
It'll be like 4 stairs down and I'm like, oh, that one's gone. You can't get back.
So the 2X stuff I have in my closet is because I was really like a large, extra large, but I like my sweatshirts oversized. So I bought a 2X in some sweatshirts, and now they're like, they just look stupid now. Before they looked cute oversized, now they just look more oversized than I want them to be. So that's why I do have some 2X stuff. Okay, I'm debating what I want to put on this. What am I going to seal it with, Bobby? I'm going to use a Sweet Pickens Final Finishes in gloss on this. I will actually probably just use clear wax because this is pretty matte. So I don't want to put anything shiny on it. But on that, I'm going to use the gloss sealer. I have some at the shop. So I'll do that when I take it in to plant it. I'm using the Fairy Tale Floral Transfer. I think I'm going to put...
So if you're in the thrift finds, last I checked, this was still available. And it's repaired now. I got the dowel in there and got it sanded up. Spins good. You just lift this up. Get your paper towel that you want. Bam. And it's pretty sturdy too.
I actually really love that.
Oh, wait, what? I mean, I know we just throw our paper towels back behind Alexa over there, and they kind of hide and they kind of don't.
I don't have a ton of counter space though, so I probably won't keep it for myself. I don't really like paper towel holders unless they're cute. And
that one's a good one.
That one's a good one, but we don't really have the space because it would take up all of my space back there. Because we don't have like a traditional kitchen. We just have this back area here and then this island. We don't put anything on it because we work on it. And so we just don't have a lot of space.
All right.
That's cute.
This is the walnut bowl. This one has sold. I did quite a bit of sanding. It had some weirdness going on with it. Tung oil. Today we're using the blend. It flows really well with the blend. It's all natural, non-toxic. And the blend I think is 50-50 tung oil and lemon oil. It's very lemon scented. But if you have anything in your home, either tung oil version that we have is biocertified, food safe. It's right there. So you can use it on any wood product. If you've got wood countertops, butcher blocks, cutting boards, rolling pins, whatever you have, wooden spoons that's wood in your kitchen or that's going to come in contact with food, you can seal it and nourish it because wood needs to get nourished every now and then or else it gets dried out and splits on you. This is what we use on everything. If I'm sending it to you, this is what it's going to be sealed with. And this is what we seal our own stuff with at the house. I'll show you in just a minute about what I was talking about, the nourishing. You're gonna see it's gonna pop out.
I'm nourishing my galvanized pitcher with some IOD.
And this took probably a teaspoon's worth of oil to do this walnut bowl. So to put that in perspective, this is 32 ounces. I think a tablespoon is about an ounce, if I'm remembering my measurement conversions right. You guys let me know, because I know a lot of you are cookers and bakers. And
Dana, I'm not an August birthday. I'm a September birthday. We're done with birthdays besides mine.
Although it's my nephew's birthday today.
Which nephew?
Atlas.
Oh.
He's 6.
Zeb has a lot of nephews, so I got to ask. I don't know. I can't keep track of all my nieces and nephews.
And Logan's is coming up too.
Yeah, Logan's is coming up at the end of the month. I know when his is because I remember when I was like, not that I wasn't alive when Atlas was born because he's 6, right? But like I remember when Logan was born because I had just had Red Drag and we were pregnant at the same time. So, see if there's any questions.
So that oil brought some darkness in the wood out. I'm going to try. It's not bad, but I can still sand this. I'm using 220 grit. Even though it's wet, it's not going to hurt it. And then as soon as I hit it with the oil, you won't even see the sanding marks because I used the 220. If you really don't want to see it, you can use 320.
Ava says, from a former school teacher, if donating school supplies, buy quality crayons, pencils. Yeah, we always buy good stuff because Zeb's really into art. I'm into art, so we buy. Sometimes we overdo it. Now that Jack's getting a little older, his colored pencils that I bought him this year are Prisma color because Sam's Club had a good price on them.
But wait, did you get me some too?
What? Can I get you some too? No.
I always need back to school Prismacolors because the kids always steal my Prismacolors.
Oh.
They're like, Dad, your colored pencils blend so much better than ours, and they just take them, and so I'm always out every year.
This is taking a little bit because it's ribbed.
All right, you see what the oil did for this bowl? It's awesome. And it will dry out as it cures up and tone back a little bit, but it'll stay like that dark natural color.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to be over here for the duration.
I got a cutting board
If
over
you
here.
haven't ever used a transfer yet, and then your first one is ribbed like this, like don't do that. Like I've done enough that I'm pretty proficient at it, but it is a little more complicated.
I'm also out there saving all the cutting boards. Jamie told me, she's like, we have a few now. So might pass
They're
up a
piling
few.
up at the shop.
But I liked this one with the handle so much, and I believe it is also sold. We leave the cut marks in. I do sand them with some 220 just to get off anything that might not be desirable on the surface. But wood is naturally antimicrobial, so it's a pretty good product.
That's why our kitchen island is wood, because it doesn't hold germs. And we roll out a lot of dough, tortillas, pizza crust. We just scrub the island and use it like a big cutting board. I don't put a knife on it, but my kids do. I need to resand all of my stuff. I'm almost done here. 4 years later.
Just like that, probably, I might have used a little bit too much on this one, but probably not much more than a teaspoon on this too, because my rag was already saturated from the bowl. So it goes a long way. This, I've probably done 20 or 30 projects, and this is half full still.
And you can buy it in a sample size too. You don't have to buy, like if you just have one cutting board or whatever. Holy moly. Look how cute that is, but that was...
So if you see a thrift or a thrift, I almost said thrift board. If you see a cutting board at the thrift store that you just like, it can come back to life. Just because it's got some cut marks in it doesn't mean that it's not going to be awesome in your kitchen.
Our island is sealed with white oil wax, which is not technically bio-certified food safe. But once it cures, it's fine.
Hard like a resin, which resin isn't,
These counters behind us are actually not really sealed with anything, because when we did them, we put white oil wax on them. Then we forgot to wipe them off. So we went
home and went to bed, and then we came back the next morning and it had cured up.
Yeah, it was a little splotchy. So then we had to sand it all off. And did we ever come back and put any more on there? Surely not.
Mm-mm.
But they're okay. They've patinaed. Okay.
They're literally about to be on the chopping block.
Oh, Gert just got the paper towel holder. We'll send it with the paper towels. They're bounty.
It's like a $4 bonus.
Does tongue oil ever go rancid? I feel like it probably could, because it has lemon.
I don't keep it in, like, we store it in the house. We don't keep it in the garage, but I've not, it's used for, its primary use is for like wooden, like garden tool handles and axe handles and wood flooring. Like that's like those professions are using tongue oil on those handles or the wood flooring, like an oak floor. A lot of times they'll go in and they'll just seal it with tongue oil.
If you want to keep
I
all
don't
of your products the best they could possibly be, store them in a climate controlled environment that's not overly humid, hot, or cold, and it will last the
Now I
absolute
gotta go find some other paper towels. I was gonna use those.
Oh, there's some.
I got some right here.
Where did I see some at? Oh, under the sink too. Ooh, the vinegar. We clean a lot with vinegar, so I got like a whole gallon of apple cider vinegar down here. I have some right here, sweetie.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, what else did I have over here?
This was just the one where the side was broken, so Zeb just made them even. And then I just need to dust it.
Hang on.
Can I get a little?
I sanded it a little over here, and I'm just going to hit it with.
So Caitlin says the tongue oil is food safe after curing for 2 weeks. So
you don't want to go drinking it.
No, it's got solvent in it. So Zed was talking about like possibly repainting it. And I just wanted to sand it and paint the edges. And then the customer who purchased it was like, I just want it sanded and the edges painted. So I'm going to use the anvil because it's a nice matte black and it looks like it's a really good match. I'll show you guys. Flip that around. Once it dries, that's going to be good.
I'm going to pull these off and pass this over to you. Since you're painting all the things, were you doing any transfers or inlays or stenciling on this? Or were you just going to paint it not cream?
I was just going to paint it not cream. I can do a willow. Who bought it? Do you know? Or did it not sell?
I don't know if it's sold yet. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff out of the bucket that needed painted from last week. Actually, I think there's like one thing left in the bucket, and it's just that tin or that pewter bowl that I needed to reshape. Everything else that needed painted from last week is out here. Okay. I'm going to scuff this up. This is super shiny, almost like an enamel paint.
So I have a question. It says, where did it go? What would you use on walls done with rough wood? I want to be able to wipe off, but want to keep shiny and rustic. So here's the problem. If it's rough,
yeah,
the dust is going to collect. So that's just the way it is.
So
like, I don't know how you fix that, because if you wipe it, I feel like it's going to snag on your stuff. It's less about like being able to clean it and more about everything's going to snag on it. I would not sand off the rustic look, but sand it to where it's smooth enough that you can wipe a rag on it. And then you could totally use like a clear DIY clear wax to seal it with or whatever, or use the Sweet Pickens Final Finish in matte. It's going to have a little bit of sealer, but anything you put on your wood will change it a little bit. I do love all the oil waxes for a pretty decent wipeable matte finish. Like our floors are sanded and then sealed with white oil wax, and they have aged a little bit over time.
It's kind of just worn with it, and now they're like, you used to not be able to slide across the floor with your socks, and now you can just skate across. When we first installed it, like even after sanding it, like the wood grain raised up a little bit when we got it wet when we were sealing it, and then it's kind of calmed back down now, and we've walked on it, and you know. But
well, we knew what would happen because we had done it on our floors in the family room and the rest of the house, and you could definitely tell it's shinier just from skin oils because we were barefoot all the time in the mudroom to the family room. So I don't really have anything that I could tell you to do, because I'm worried if it's because we have some textured because I put the shiplap in backwards in the bathroom, and it's like impossible to wipe clean. Okay, that's not sold, so we could do whatever we want with it.
okay. I got to get.
I'm gonna mix up some of the willow milk paint. So I was thinking about that. Could you give me some Bond though?
Yeah, I sanded that a little for you too.
Thank you. All right, chair's finished. She looks good. That was an easy peasy. Let me rinse out my little brush. Always have artist brushes if you're a thrift flipper, because sometimes you just need to paint a little area and you don't want to get a huge brush dirty and use all that. You waste all the paint on the brush that you have to wash off. Okay, I thrifted a chair with a woven rush sheet. It's a bit stained, discolored. Do you have any suggestions? You could try to just use a scrub brush with like soap and water, but just be careful not to oversaturate it. Or I like to try magic erasers are actually good. Just know that magic eraser will take a little bit of whatever finish.
Magic eraser is about like 2,000 grit sandpaper.
Yeah, so, and then I'm not afraid to occasionally just use like bleach and water and then put it out in the sunshine, but I can't guarantee that's also not going to ruin it. So, but that's what I would do.
Okay, you're sanded front and back now.
Okay, I don't know why. There we go. Yeah, you can use your vacuum to clean your rough wall, but to like wipe it with a rag, it's always going to snag if it's pretty rough.
Yeah, the only thing that's worked for me is to like sand it and leave some of the kerf marks in, but to get most of it actually smooth. as far as like cleaning it goes.
So I'm going to be using Willow milk paint. This is like it's like a pistachio ice cream color. Don't you think?
Yes, it looks a
little
lot
bit
like
brighter,
pistachios.
Zeb loves pistachio ice cream. Thrifty's is his favorite.
Could eat it all day, and I shouldn't, but I would. We went camping, me and Jack's friend and Jack, of course, out at the property. And we got, if you've been following, we got a old busted 25-year-old Suburban that I got for super cheap. Paid cash for it. Wasn't running, didn't have the fuel tank in it. There's some things it needs. The 4-wheel drive doesn't currently work in it. I think it's just one of the little motors because it's actually new enough that it's like an electronic push button and it engages it for you. I think that motor that engages the 4-wheel drive is all that's out, hopefully. And it's not like a gearbox issue. But 4-wheel drive wasn't working, and it was like thunderstorm, torrential downpour off and on all day yesterday. And the property has some clay on it, and we found a pocket of that clay and could not get the Suburban up to where we have like the fire pit and the campsite over on the 40.
There's a reason I stayed home last night.
You know what? We had no rain from like 6 to about 9:30. It started sprinkling a little bit at 9.
Leaks a little bit. I'm surprised you didn't wake up.
No, it didn't leak. I put some tarps down underneath our mats, and it was fine. But we woke up this morning. It was still a little soggy because it rained all night. And I'm like, well, we got to get home. And I don't want to get another truck stuck out here because the tractor was handling it fine. And the tractor is living out at the property right now. Because if I get a second, I go out and play on it. Anyway, all that to say, Jack drove the tractor and towed me while I drove the Suburban.
You said he just pulled you a little bit out. How far?
I mean, we had to drive like 20 feet. But he was going like maybe half a mile an hour.
He's a real farm kid now. He drove the tractor.
I mean, most farm kids are driving tractors at like 4 and 5. So Jack's fine.
There ain't no farm kid driving a tractor at 4.
I got videos. They're all over TikTok.
Well, they're idiots. No, I shouldn't say that because it's going to hurt somebody's feelings. But 4-year-olds do not make good choices.
Anyway, Jack did great. He was very careful. He had a radio. I had a radio. I was talking to him the whole time, walking through it. So this is loose. Anyway, he was very proud of himself today. He's like, he's used the backhoe portion of the tractor quite a bit, but he's never actually driven it. So he was pretty stoked to be driving it. And of course, his buddy was there to see him doing it. So, you know, it was like, you know, the coolest thing ever to drive Dad's tractor today.
Kaylin says I can't do it alone unless they're super tall or if they have a phone book. Can you open that? Okay. Oh, well, Zeb was telling that story. What I did was I took warm water and I mixed it up and I have like a melted milkshake consistency. It's not perfectly smooth. I do have some chunks in here. So if you want no chunks in your milk paint, use an immersion blender. But for this little dab of milk paint, I am not going to worry about it. I am going to put...
That has glued on.
Oh, yeah. Well, it does have Bond in there. I'm going to put it on...
Not big enough.
This planter. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to paint these frames with it. So I want to put some Bond in it because there is some shiny stuff going on. Oh, their feet won't reach the pedal. Well, somehow they figure it out.
So there's a guy I watched that actually runs the truck by himself with a rope from the back of the truck, and he throws hay bales off while his truck's just like driving, and he's got the rope.
Do you watch Five Mary's Farms?
And his daughter occasionally gets in there and uses the rope and steers for it.
Five Mary's Farms, that's how he put his wife shared. She's on Instagram. His wife did that. I was like, oh my goodness. The people are going to come for you. It's private land.
You know, right. It's getting work done. Like I could not drive the tractor and the Suburban by myself. Jack is very capable of taking instruction and being careful.
Did you use my paintbrush that I had pulled out here?
I have this one here, but I didn't take it.
Oh. No, I had one here.
Did you get the Bond you needed?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't remember you taking it.
I poured it in there.
All right.
How do you clean your furniture that has inlaid paints for transfer?
Depends on what we've sealed it with.
Just a microfiber cloth. I try not to put any cleaners, solvents, anything like that that would rip through.
I'm gonna leave the mic
The
here
sealer.
for just a second. I'm gonna go sand this because everywhere there's a polka dot, it's like raised from the paint.
Becky says can you fix the camera? Becky says when my cousins were little, one steered and the other one ran the pedals.
See,
We're not doing that either.
People figuring it out.
I mean, Redrick has drove the Ranger on private property. Redrick's 13. And Jack has driven the tractor before. Jack has driven.
Jack reached the pedals just fine.
Yeah, Jack's not short. All right. Definitely going to need 2 coats for sure. Be careful with milk paint. I will come back and check that because it can drip because it's a little bit thinner. You know what? Oh, thanks, Lenny. She said, look pretty today. I should be honest and say that I brushed my hair. It's dirty. This is like 5-day hair. And I kind of just threw some powder and blush over the top of yesterday's makeup. So it's good to hear that I look okay. I was too busy cleaning my closet to really get ready for the day. And Zeb was gone. And then we're like, let's go live and get our projects done. I didn't have time to really do anything. So that's what I did. Yeah, this is a really pretty color. And it's not blue at all. It's definitely green. So this is Willow. It's 35% off at jamierayvintage.com. It's milk paint. If you want it to not chip so much, get the farmhouse finishes. Or like I added Bond to the milk paint. And it's 35% off until the end of August 2024. No code needed. We try as often as possible not to have a code because that's just annoying. I have to remember to put something in. Occasionally, because of the way this like sales we got going on, we have some codes that we got to do, but how old is Jack? Jack is 10.
Just turned 10.
He's 10, but he's an old soul.
We also did some archery and
Target
they
practice.
started digging what they're calling a mine in the wash. They have grand plans for the next 6 months to expand on this. We will see. Currently, it's basically like a little indent in the side of the wash that is about chest height on Jack.
They did Minecraft in real life.
But you know
sends me
what?
a picture and they've got like picks and shovels.
That's what they started out talking about.
Oh, there was Minecraft in real life.
Oh, you get green on that black piece in the back.
Oh, I'm gonna have to Sharpie that.
They also, I mean, they were literally like, we got to come out here and we'll be done in about 6 months if we come. You think your dad will bring me out here with you about once a week? I'm like, I would love to be out there once a week, but I don't know that the schedule calls for that. Man.
He's busy too, because the reason why they were able to go up yesterday, we were going to go after football practice, like at 8 o'clock for them to go camping. But because of the rain, football practice got canceled.
It was bad enough, like lightning and stuff.
Yeah, they don't normally cancel practice just for rain, but they canceled practice. Both those boys play tackle football, so they're pretty busy. And like Jack's friend is one of 3 boys playing in his family, and Jack's 1 of 2. And then we have Eliza cheers, so it's a very busy time in our family, and their house is just as busy. They're the parents that also help us out when we need to get our kids places. It's like when you have kids in sports, you have multiple kids in sports, you got to have friends because there's no way to get everybody everywhere they got to go. Our nose itches. Or occasionally we'll be live during when Eliza needs to be picked up from cheer. So
are you going to wax those like white wax or dark wax?
I think that would actually look... because I don't know that I even need to white wax them, because I think once I get a couple coats, I can bring back the color that's underneath.
This color here, we had a Hoosier that was painted really close to this color, and then it had been painted yellow over the top of this. But this color, you open the cupboards and it was like in all the backs of the cupboards, and it was aged and dirty from probably being in a barn forever, but it looked amazing. What do you think about painting these and then bringing a lot of that black back?
I feel like black would be harsh with this green. That would not be my first choice.
Okay. I'm going to stick with
Provincial is actually going to be very sophisticated.
I'm gonna stick with my provincial.
We did provincial yesterday. If you watch yesterday's thrifting video, I threw in a project at the end. I like to try when I can. I try to throw in a little bit of painting while I'm photographing the thrift haul because I have dry time. So like I'll start painting. You don't see this because I don't film myself doing it, but I film myself painting. Then I'll go over to the dining table, photograph stuff while it's drying. And then by the time I'm done photographing everything, I've got a little project finished. And that's how we actually do a lot of our paint projects. I'll have like something else going on, and then off to the side of the island or the dining table, I'll have a few things with paint drying while I'm cooking, canning, rotating the laundry, in between kid drop off for the many sports events that are happening. Trying not to.
So
make a huge mess.
this provincial is like a really good kind of grayish taupe.
It's more brown than gray though.
Yeah, but everything we paint in this, it's almost like the pink stuff. If we paint something pink,
it sells
fast. I think it's because we don't paint a ton of things in pink.
I also think it's because
I feel like this is the white of like 2015 for 2024.
It's like very, very
if we
popular.
painted something in white in 2015, it like sold immediately.
The thing about pink is it's not readily available, but people want it. And that's why I think it sells so well. Okay. Well, stuff I'm painting too fast. And I thought I got some on the floor, but there's actually just willow on my toes. So we're good. I don't want to paint that willow. I think this would be better provincial.
Okay.
So I might just get the heat gun out and just be very careful.
Don't let me forget I have my box I'm going to decoupage before we're done. That's sitting outside.
Okay.
My book box. And I'm going to probably have to take these outside because these are pretty slick and shiny and they're going to need 2 coats. This is what I like to call a tack coat. If you got something real shiny, just get a coat on there fast. Don't worry about what it looks like, as long as your brush strokes are going how you want. And then you can come back and do like a good cover coat. Works for like ceramics, metals, high gloss woods. Okay.
Oh,
What
well,
happened?
that's unfortunate.
What'd you do?
Well, I need to clean out the inside of this pot.
Oh, there's all the
later.
There's all the planting stuff in there.
And now it's all over that.
It's just texture.
It's not the texture I'm going for. Luckily, it hasn't dried very much. So I'm just going to wipe it off this and repaint it. Don't mind me. Just getting moss. I saw that when I was painting it, but I was like, oh, I'll just clean it out later because I had already got paint on it. But then you heat gun it and spray it everywhere. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to heat gun the outside and not spray in the in. Wendy says, I'm going to find something to use it on. The thing about me is I always got something I can paint because we buy a lot.
Are you talking? Is she talking about the milk paint?
Yep. Lisa says, life in between life. Yeah, that is very much. People are like, how do you guys get so much accomplished? We just always have things going on. Like we're live right now painting our thrift finds, but this is also our job. So we're like on YouTube and Facebook. But then we also currently the washing machine is going with the bins finds because I'm working my way through everything that we purchased yesterday. That'll be in Thursday's video. So I'm getting all that done. So multitasking. Willow is kind of a hard to explain color. So we thought we probably should
It's just
use
very,
it.
it's
So
like bright, but it's like a good, like vintage green.
it's almost
Like it's not quite mint. It's not quite a pickle color, you know, it's like in between all of those. Speaking of pickles, of all the things we have going today, when are you going to squeeze that in?
You can help me.
I didn't say
You
I would.
always encourage me to grow the garden, but so far you haven't done any preserving with me.
I've done all kinds of preserving.
What did you do?
I did a whole batch of herbs the other day.
Okay, you threw some herbs on I'm talking about like canning.
Oh, I tried to do the beets and that didn't work out.
Oh,
I was pickling beets and I had that jar break in there, and then we're just like, there's only 3 quarts in here now.
I don't like to do it by myself. I don't mind making pickles if somebody will do it with me. I did make salsa. It kind of looks like jadeite. Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, yeah, there you
Close
go.
to that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just try this because I'm making a big green milk paint mess and I really just need to finish these. So it's definitely going to need 3 coats.
Are you trying to cover up that stencil or
gosh.
whatever was on there?
Yeah. I'm really struggling.
You might just need to go for it and paint the whole inside.
I cannot paint over that.
Oh, is it still like dirt in the bottom?
All right. Okay. Jamie, sometimes you just have to admit when you're defeated. I've got to get water in this and get the dirt out because it keeps blowing in the top. I think it's got a little hole in the bottom. So I think I could just spray it out. And it can go out that little hole and sometimes it's easier to just do it the right way than trying to do it the wrong way 80 times.
Okay. I'm grabbing these on the edges because I'm probably going to distress that anyway, so no biggie if the paint comes off. Okay, let me go get my book now and see where we're at with that.
Now I can paint the inside, I can paint the outside. We'll be fine. I kept thinking, well, if I'm just really careful while I heat gun this, then it will stop blowing up, and the stuff just kept blowing everywhere. And it is like situation. Cindy, I did not see your question, and I think Caitlin stepped away for a second to go to the restroom. So if Jane's answer doesn't help, ask again, and I'll try. Oh, Caitlin's back now. Oh, good. Kim says, did my first ever IOD, Iron Orchid Designs inlay, wasn't bad. I was so nervous. Oh, Kim, I'm glad you did. That's why we did them last week on Waste Not Wednesday. I could tell you it was not planned that Zeb was going to do his backwards and then I was going to save it on live TV. But I felt like that was a good way to show you that, like, not too scary. Just got to get in there and do that.
Yeah, that wasn't planned. Seemed planned, but it wasn't.
I'd like to say we're that organized that we could think ahead, but no.
Sometimes I just get, I mean, in all honesty, it's like hard to like have a conversation, be on camera, paint something, and like make it look half decent.
Things that people actually want to buy. Yeah, you got to be careful. You get going and you mess things up. I know people say all the time, you guys make it look easy. I'm like, it's actually taken a few years to perfect like being live and painting. I remember when Waste Not Wednesday kind of was like, what you working on Wednesday? And I was like, I'll just go live every Wednesday so we don't have to have so many edited videos because I just wasn't finding the time to edit them. And that's kind of how it all got started. And I remember when I first got started, I just thought, I don't know, I'll just do whatever. And it's taken a while to get used to.
Well, the very first one we did in the backyard, we were doing that table that I had that cedar that my dad had milled, and we were putting legs on it for the gazebo situation we put up out there.
Yeah, I remember that. That coffee table?
Yeah, that was the very first Waste Not Wednesday.
I thought that,
And it was literally like an old busted barn door.
I can't believe we did that live.
Yeah,
Like
in the
with power tools
backyard,
in the
like
backyard.
planes flying over, freeway noise. How come I can never find the liquid patina over here? Did you pull it out?
What are you asking for, sweetie?
Liquid patina?
Oh, I don't know. It should be in there. I didn't pull it out.
I got like 3 things.
I always like when people say, well, you guys are talking over each other. Well, here's the thing. You guys hear us on our mics, but like Zeb's over there talking. I can barely hear him. So if he's talking, you're hearing it great because he's on his mic, but I don't know what he's saying because I can't hear it as well.
I found it. Victorious.
And some of knowing when people are talking is looking at their mouth while they talk, and Zeb and I are not doing that.
Sitting side by side.
Yeah. You'd be surprised at how much looking at somebody's mouth gives you the cues of when they are and are not speaking.
Did you have scissors out? Oh, they're right here.
I feel like the coverage is good, but this side where there were words, the black's still showing through a little bit. So I'm just going to do one more coat here in a minute. Silvana, we are having a great day. If you guys are on Facebook, you guys can hit that share button. It helps us out a ton. Poor Trina says she loves while she's in Montana. She's on the same time zone as us.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't know that. I knew she was out of town. I didn't know that's where she was. That's fun. They have a hold on her deliveries till she gets back.
It's probably a great time of year to be in Montana. It's probably starting to cool off a little in the evenings and the mornings. Getting a little rainy. Afternoon thunderstorms up there.
My lightning app went off. I wonder if we have more storms coming in.
Yeah, the clouds are building out there like they do in the afternoon. Hot morning sun.
Is that the new paper? Yes, Seb is using the new medium paper. What is this one called?
Wildflowers.
What? Are you sure? I don't think so.
No, this one is.
Oh,
We got a few things called wildflower now, so make sure you're
Wildflower.
looking for stencil or paper.
Carol says it seems to be like patting your head and rubbing your stomach. That is exactly what it's like to read.
I can actually do
questions,
that, but
answer-
not well.
read questions, work on a project, talk to each other, be entertaining, and try to promote, like put out something that's actually good. This is pretty good, but this, you can see how you, like, look at this side is fine.
Mhm.
Then, and oops, I'm just a little wet there. The other side, you can see the black. So I'm gonna, one more time, let's see if we can get it covered there. Put this over here to dry. Does milk paint need to be sealed? Yes. It is very matte. When you use Bond, it has a little bit more of a sheen to it. So there's a little bit of moss that was blowing out of it onto this, so I'm having to wipe that off. But yeah, I'll seal it like clear wax probably. Did you video your new papers? Yes, Joni. When they came out a few weeks ago, we did a video on a Friday just about them. For whatever reason, when we do new releases, YouTube does not push those videos out, and I don't know if Facebook is either. But Caitlin, can you drop the link to the video where we showed the new products and then how to use, we didn't use each new product, but showed how to use each type of product. It should, I think it was not last Friday, it's Friday before.
Yeah, it's been a
I
week or
can't
so.
remember.
Had 2 new medium-sized papers, and then I want to say
16 new stencils.
6 new A4 rice papers.
Thank you. Caitlin dropped the link on Facebook and YouTube so you can see that release. Hopefully you guys didn't mind our pre-recorded video. Last week we were at a football game for Redrick. We actually wound up finishing because they were supposed to play twice and they wound up only having to play once. And so we wound up finishing just before we would have been live, but it was too close to have just.
Well, we didn't know that they were going
Yeah.
to cancel his second game until they canceled it like right there.
And then we dropped the kids off and came back and helped the swag booth because my friend helps run the league. She's the team mom of all the team moms. And as I was leaving, I could tell she was a little frustrated and needed help. So Zeb and I went back till like 10:30 and helped clean up everything, all the swag and whatnot. Many hands make light work.
So this is a little heavier than like your standard tissue paper for decoupage because it's rice paper. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. Just use a little bit extra liquid patina. It sticks fine.
I want to put a mold on milk paint. Do I seal it before or after? I would just put the mold on and then do whatever you're going to do with it and seal it all at one time. Caitlin's going to leave. She'll be back tomorrow. She's got back to school night. I'll try to answer questions, drop links if I can. Yes, we are an hour ahead of Pacific time.
Yep.
Do we ever go the same time as them?
No, they're always move forward. We're the same time as Arizona for a little while.
The same time as
because Arizona never changes, so they don't change with us and they don't change with Pacific.
They don't change ever. Everybody else rotates around them.
I don't know about that.
They're like the sun.
But they're basically like, yeah, we're not changing for a little corner of Arizona does up on the Navajo Nation. A little corner changes with us up in the northeast corner of Arizona.
Oh, not too shy. Patty is relaxing and eating her dinner. I'm starving, so.
Did you not eat?
Well, I had a little tea.
You know why? Because you were going to come out and have pancakes with us this morning. Those buttermilk pancakes, and I crisped the edges up in the bacon grease on that cast iron griddle. I probably shouldn't have
that with my cholesterol, but that would have been delicious. No, what happens is nobody was here that I needed to feed, and I was upstairs and I was cleaning out my closet, and then about noon I had the teeniest, tiniest little bowl of cereal because I'm like, well, cereal's not good, so I'll just eat a little bit to get me by. And then that's all I had till right before the live video. I popped the teeny tiny little mini muffin in my mouth, and I have some whole milk here. And that is my day. So I'm thinking there's going to be some Mexican food in my future.
Well, just so you know. Oh, we've been living in this.
You have a youth group tonight, though, huh? Maybe I'll just have leftover steak.
No.
Today. Oh, you don't?
The steak's in charge tonight.
Oh, good. Well, maybe
and I don't have to drive.
We can take the boys to football. Actually, Jax doesn't have football tonight.
Here's the thing.
What?
Here's the thing.
What?
We've been living in this house for 3.5 years, and we got the craziest torrential downpour we've ever had. And it started leaking right over here where the cricket meets from the new part to the old part of the house. I'm thinking some of my flashing has pulled away from the wall because that's the only thing I could think of if it splashed up. And it wasn't like a crazy leak. It was just like drip, drip, drip leak over here right between the two parts. So what you're saying is you're going to fix
the roof like a responsible adult, and you're not going to come have chimichangas with me.
I need to look at it because we got more rain on the forecast, and that's how you get mold.
What brush is Zeb using with the liquid patina?
This is the R20. It is a big old fat mamma jamma. It will hold a ton of paint. I'm using it because it was convenient, but it works for all the things.
I say let's finish the projects we've started and then go get some. Then you can get on the roof, and then you'll be done by the time.
It won't take me long. I just need to go look at the flashing and see where it's actually leaking from, because all the shingles were there. So that's the only thing I could think of, because it would have leaked before then if it was a shingle, because we've been living here forever, and their shingles are fine.
We'll take Jack with us to eat some Mexican food. And while you're working on the roof, I will send Jack out to keep an eye on you, and I'll keep listing stuff out of my closet.
Okay.
My goal is to list at least 10 things a day, and it might take me 10 days because that's how much stuff I cleaned out of my closet.
I came home, it's like a mountain of laundry. It looks like she just raided the Goodwill bins.
Well, the other thing too was this is the way my brain works. I wanted to hang up clothes I had washed, and I'm like, I bought some new things and realized that I was going to need more hangers. I'm like, the reality is I know I need to get rid of stuff, so I don't want to buy new hangers if I just need to get rid of stuff. So I had to get rid of stuff so I had enough hangers.
I'm going to take
So-
this over to the table to dry. I have another piece of paper. It's like a prototype, but it almost looks identical to this. So don't feel sad. Just buy the wildflower medium rice paper if you want this
Leslie
look.
says it's gorgeous, but also please be safe. Zeb's pretty safe. Are you going up on the second floor?
I might, because I need to
have
peek
to-
at that too, just while I'm up there.
You'll have to harness up. Is the harness here or at the
I am
barn?
not going to harness up. That requires putting holes in the roof.
Okay. Just be careful.
I'm just not going to go on the tall side.
They love your book box. So what are you going to do with the side that does? Are you just going to paint it white? Oh, you're going to do more. You probably told him that, but I wasn't listening.
Yep. I did tell him that. It's okay.
I've been over here
No,
painting everything willow, so
I see it.
I don't know what paper I'm going to put in here. So stay tuned for that.
I think that would look, if you do some sort of wax on there, I think that would look really good with those royal blue bike papers.
Oh, okay. If it
But I don't
fits
know if
there.
I have any here. So give me a hot second and I'll magically make 2 of them appear.
Well, hopefully the size. They're not the same size, these. Did I get it all? I don't care if it's 100% coverage because I'm going to bring back that cream color, but I don't want it to look streaky. Yeah, that paper is one of my favorites. That's the paper that we used if you guys watched the Waste Not Wednesday, where we finally finished our toilet paper holder, which was like an old school like cabinet in our bathroom. And we used that paper inside of it. And you know what? I'm so glad that we did that little project for ourselves because every time I go to the bathroom, which is every day, it makes me just happy. I just open the door and it makes me happy. So little PSA, if you're a reseller, make sure you're doing some projects for yourself. The benefit of being a reseller is you get to enjoy some things. And I never feel bad about it, like buying stuff for myself, because I know that eventually I may sell it, right? Like it's just an investment for future inventory. I'm going to rotate stuff out of my house a lot. I mean, I'm currently rotating clothes, but I rotate decor too. Leslie says, I feel like I should buy more rice paper. Some of the stencils I didn't buy, like for Connie's pumpkin stack. Yes, if you guys haven't seen Connie from the Painted Photographer, she did a stacked pumpkin and she used our pumpkin stencil, the one that has like 8 different pumpkins, as basically the chalk outline, and then she painted them in and they're so cute. I'm scheming some pumpkin crafts with those. Maybe for Waste Not Wednesday, we'll use it. But when I saw what Connie had done, I was like, oh, I'm so glad that I designed this stencil because I was starting to wonder what I would even do with it. Okay, I need, what brush, where's the brush that you did provincial on?
I was just coming to paint that, but
Thanks.
you're on it. Just be careful to keep it out of your leaves here.
Yeah.
It's going to want to get down on your leaves.
And not that this blue polka dot isn't great, but it's not great. I actually think I used,
It's not that it isn't great, but it's not great.
I think I used the last of our moss the last time.
Oh,
I'm going to double
really?
check, but I don't think I have any moss. So I might have to go get some new moss and glue it on here before we ship this off because I think this did sell. Did this sell when you were checking the?
I don't know. I just was grabbing a bunch of stuff.
Whoever painted this blue got a little blue on the leaves.
I see that.
It's all right. That looks so much better. I'm late, Jamie. Are you rotating clothes on the shop? I'm rotating clothes out of my closet, which has a lot of things from the shop. Everything I own is pretty much from Costco, Jamie Ray Vintage, or it's like something higher end that I saved up for. Like I have some Free People overalls I'm listing. I have some Madewell jeans. I think somebody already bought it. I sold my purse that I picked up in England last year because when I got home from England, I have not used it one time. And I was like, you know, I haven't used that purse in 10 months. I'm going to send it on its merry little way. I haven't listed it yet, but I have this really cute leather mini backpack. I think it's DKNY that I've had for I don't know, like 8 years maybe, and it's still in really good condition, but I don't use it that much anymore, so I'm going to sell it.
I feel like that was more of like a diaper bag.
Are you guys selling clothes on a website or a different? No, just on the thrift finds and thrift flips.
It's in the thrift finds and thrift flips.
I don't
tab.
have time enough to like list things 8,000 places. We do have an app that occasionally we can double list it on Etsy and on our website. We do that with our furniture, but everything we just list on our website.
Okay, this unscrewed. I knew that when I bought it. So now, also something that bothered me, I'm going to paint this, but these did not line up. The kerf marks on here did not line up with the handle. They were like crooked with the handle and it was driving me nuts. So we're going to fix that when it goes back on.
Can you fix the camera?
Oh yeah.
When that dries, I'm going to just put tape and tape the underside of the leaves so I can get a little teeny tiny brush and paint the part that's blue because it's bothering me.
I think
I'm going to second coat these for you while all my willow stuff dries. Milk paint dries a little darker. And if you're not used to it, like if you're used to DIY paint that dries lighter, milk paint dries a little darker. The cottage color dries a little darker. This color that we're using, Provincial, if you guys follow Jonathan Mark Mendez, he's from the UK. He just did a like armoire and he used Provincial and an IOD paint, or not paint transfer, an IOD transfer on a dresser, and it's really pretty. So look up Jonathan Mark Mendez on Instagram and you can see that. And I think he has a video coming out on YouTube. Debbie got him some paint. I texted Debbie, she's in Hawaii, and I was like, did you send Jonathan Mark Mendez some paint? She's like, I sure did. Like, well, maybe now I'm gonna have to bring him some paint when I go to England the next time. Patty said she saw it and it turned out gorgeous. Oh, you know what, Zeb?
What, Jamie?
This needs some glue.
Where?
This.
I already glued it. Is it needing glue on the other side?
Oh, okay. No. I just saw that it was a little bit like separated, but it's probably just because the glue hasn't dried, so it'll be fine. You know, what'd be really pretty is white wax on these. And then it would sit down into that crack. I'm used to using DIY paint, and that is the only thing that's different with cottage color. It does not, it's self-leveling, so it's not going to fill any cracks with paint. If you're using DIY paint, sometimes you can just put some extra DIY paint if there's a little crack. There's a Jamie's Closet. Yes, Caitlin just made a Jamie's Closet collection. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 things in there right now.
The collection will probably always exist now because Jamie is always rotating through stuff.
Well, I have to, when things come into the shop, I pretty much own one of everything at some point because I feel like it's my job to wear it, make sure that it's good quality.
You got to quality control that.
Jack just got like 4 Amazon boxes. School supplies are starting to show up and his arms are full. And I think my mom has some Alka-Seltzer, or maybe that already came.
Do you have a heat gun out? I need to borrow it if you do.
Yeah, it's over here.
I'm just going to heat gun this one.
I've had the worst luck with burning.
That's like your 3rd burn this week.
Yes.
It's Tuesday.
So I have this burn from the oven. I made muffins for our family get together with the Ray cousins on Sunday. The Rays and the Washburns. And then I have I don't even curl my hair that often, but I burnt my finger. I went to grab the end of the curling iron and I accidentally touched the hot end of it. No, that's definitely going to leave a mark.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm not that worried about it. My body will heal itself.
I didn't know that was going to happen when I asked for the heat gun. I wouldn't stress it too much. I'm going to distress those.
Hello, Christina from the Turned Leg. I saw Christina's garden. It looks so good. Christina is a fellow gardener, and she does really good work in her garden. We haven't shared our garden as much on the Jamie and Zeb channel, but
because we haven't shared anything on the channel.
But we did put up a short the other day, so we could show you what it looks like.
I did a little tractor work waiting for the ground to dry out so that I could unstick this. No, that's just a crack in the wood.
Okay. Yeah, these definitely going to need wax because then the wax can stick in the crack.
So I took that opportunity to do a little road work while we were waiting for the road to dry out because the tractor wasn't having any issues driving. I mean, it's got huge weighted tires and 4-wheel drive, and it was doing good. But I think I found the perfect spot to do my wheat plot.
Oh yeah.
It's down right by where Jack's. You remember where all those
Zeb
flowers
is going
were?
To grow, he's going to try to grow his own kamut, and then he's going to process it.
I actually have some successfully growing in the backyard right now, my test plot, and then we're gonna go cultivate and do some dry farming this next coming spring. It's happening. Even if it's on a small scale, like it's probably, you know, that little meadow where all the flowers came up this spring down there by the bottom of the property where the spring kind of outlets.
Yeah.
I was in there today looking at Jack's hole that he was digging, mine. And it's perfect. It's like it's almost flat. And it's not such a huge space that, like, if it actually successfully grows, I'm going to have to take a week and harvest.
Well, you should get some horse manure from, who's that guy that has a
Hagen?
horse? Hagen.
Yeah.
And go have him put it in your dump trailer and go dump it down there so it can cool off so it's not hot, and then you can plant it in the spring.
Well, I want to do it before it snows because if I get the manure out there before it snows, it'll be perfect. I can just go, and it's a small enough area. Like I can just go and rototill it. I don't need to like take the tractor over there and take out half the mountain. Anyway, of the behind the scenes that you guys don't really get to see anymore because I haven't had time to edit videos. I should just throw all my footage completely uncut with all the errors and the behind the scenes talk up and see what happens.
People will need to know.
Well, you know, cut maybe a couple things.
There's
some spots.
I thought you were editing a video.
I was.
How did that work?
It was working good. I just didn't get a chance to finish it. I was waiting for the football game to start, and then the football game started.
Christy said she's sad that you left that wooden box behind. I am not sad, Christy. That box needed more.
I wanted the box, but I think I'm just going to build one to suit my own needs.
For $20, that thing was like...
And maybe I'll build a couple more for you guys, because I have a bunch of like off-cut plywood in the barn that I just moved over there from the garage that needs to go, or I'm just going to end up tossing it because it's just going to sit there and, you know, get all warped and bad.
And it did. Somebody did buy it, and the lady that bought it, I was like, good luck.
She probably saw me looking at it.
May the force be with you.
We have that happen. Like if I'm looking at something and I'm on the fence about it, someone will be like eyeballing me looking at it. I totally eyeball other people. And they'll come and they'll buy it after I look at it. Like, and then that helps me not be on the fence anymore because it's gone.
Well, people are looking at something that I like, and I can tell they're like hemming and hawing about it. I will wait.
Yeah, I'll kind of loiter around and watch them.
And sometimes I'll say, hey, if you decide you don't want that, would you come find me? I'm not too shy.
It happens at the bins a lot. People have like amazing quilts, and then they'll be checking out and they'll like throw it on top of the books as they're walking out.
Well, sometimes they just use it to hide their stuff, not because they're actually going to buy it. And you can kind of usually tell what they're doing. And so I'll ask them like, hey, when you're done, would you just throw that in my cart if you're not going to buy it? And a lot of times people will do it. There were kids at the bins yesterday that must have been kind of rowdy because they were getting told what was up. This guy was like, this is not daycare, and if you guys do not behave, you can leave. We will escort you out. I was like, well, it's getting serious at these Goodwill bins. And then they did like a change of the bins, you know, and it was usually pretty loud. It was like quiet. I'm like, listen, he didn't say you couldn't talk.
It was like ghostly quiet, and people are just like throwing. There's like this like bouquet of clothes being thrown all over through the bins.
Oh, I'm going to Cheryl's house. She said she cooked cube steak, gravy, mashed taters, corn on the cob, sliced tomato, and pickled cucumbers.
It's time. We got to end the video, guys. I got to go to her house.
Don't use horse manure. It will cause lots of weeds.
It does. You can, but he's hay feeding alfalfa. So if I get alfalfa sprouting up out there, I won't be sad.
I was like, my neighbors use horse manure. L. Arnold says, just put it up unedited, just slap it together. Throw some music on it. Chrissy says she's good with that building a box. You can build a box after you cut the cutting boards, the sheep cutting boards.
You know what?
Dark.
Yeah, I told you that the afternoon thunderstorm's coming.
Okay. When we finish up these projects we're working on, I think we're going to be done. So that way Zeb can, although if it starts storming, I guess we'll have to go eat Mexican food because you won't be able to.
I have been on that roof raining before when I was putting it together.
Not when there's lightning. I'll just get a bucket. The thing about Utah is it ain't going to rain forever because we're the second driest state in the
Actually,
US.
These thunderstorms are about a month early. Usually mid to end of September, we start getting a little bit of rain because it's rainier and once it gets winter, it turns to snow. But there's a little bit of extra rain this summer, which has been great.
Hey, Jack, don't open those yet. Those are for school. I don't need the box all mangled.
She hasn't committed to them yet, is what she's telling me.
No, I am committed to them, but I want to open the box. Because Jack is known for
let me see if my other box is dry.
Everywhere.
Okay, we are not dry on this yet.
Nancy made honey lime enchiladas. That actually sounds really good. My favorite, easy go-to meal is cheese enchiladas. And I just layer them. So fun story about my cheese enchiladas. I do not roll my enchiladas because I'm lazy and they taste the same. So I just layer them like a lasagna or a casserole or whatever. And we're talking about cheese enchiladas being a quick go-to meal. And my friend, what's his first name, Deb? Villasenor. Kita's husband.
Oh, shoot.
Well, anyways, Mr. Villasenor, we were at camp together at church camp, and he's like, tell me more about that. I was like, okay, so just put the sauce, layer everything in there, and I'm giving it. He's like, that is the most
I literally
genius
talked to him
idea.
2 days ago, and it's right on the tip of my tongue. I don't know why I can't. Some space in it.
But the funny thing is he's Mexican. Obviously, we last name at Villasenor, and he's going to start making my very Americanized enchiladas because he's like, that's so smart to just layer it because when you eat it, it doesn't matter and it tastes the same. You just cut it out and put it on your plate. I used to heat up the tortillas or dip them in grease so I could roll each enchilada. Not anymore. Ain't nobody got time for that. Mostly because I'm usually making 2 trays of it because I'm feeding the masses. Everybody that lives here plus anybody who happens to be visiting at the time. Renee says we're getting her monsoons. That's what it feels like. No, we don't typically get monsoons, so we're happy about that. Our garden is happy. The grass, we just fertilized the grass and it's greening up so good. We've got another family event. So last week was the Ray cousins. This week is the Carlin cousins, and it's at our house. So we got to clean up the backyard a little bit before Sunday. And Saturday, we're going to be gone all day because it's our 23rd wedding anniversary. So.
Wait, are you not going to leave for me?
I'm going to your game. I'm going to the game, Redrick's game.
We're not missing the games, buddy.
No. We're going to go to Redrick's game. And then Odelia is going to watch you, and Dad and I are going to go hike and go eat.
I mean, we were jet lagged fresh off the plane from the UK, and we went to and watched Odelia cheer.
Yeah, we don't hardly miss anything because you only have so many games, so many things. Our life revolves around our children's schedule because that's what's important to us. Occasionally we'll miss maybe 1 game a year when we go out of the country, but we try to plan it when they have a game, a week where they don't have as many games or whatever. Sometimes they'll get a bye where they don't have a game that week. Thanks. So congratulations on our wedding anniversary. And Leslie says Mexican lasagna. Basically, I mean, that's what it is. It's enchiladas. And I buy the pre-shredded cheese, so that's easy. Or I can, if I just have a block, I can get out my food processor. And I just use the canned enchilada sauce. But the thing is, I usually wind up doing a tray in green sauce and a tray in red sauce because we are a family divided. Some people love the red sauce, some people love the green sauce. So I just do 2 smaller casserole dishes, and I just do 1 of each kind. I think I finally got it covered. This is pretty slick black paint, and it was giving me fits.
So the other day, someone was like, why are you guys using rice paper instead of tissue paper? For one, it's hard to get the tissue paper to print right off of our big printer because it's not that specialized for like tissue paper. You got to have like a special
the
attachment.
people that have done it, they have actually retrofitted their printers.
It's like
and we
a
don't know
special
how.
attachment that's engineered for it. And secondly, is because not everybody's decoupaging these. Some people are just framing them, which is why we use the archival ink, because they're pretty high quality prints that can just be framed, because I'm framing a lot of them.
Rosie said Colorado, they're having thunderstorms, went from 85 to 63. We were in the 70s yesterday.
This morning when we woke up, it was 59 degrees out on the mountain. And I was like, I could get used to that. It's only going to, like, the thunderstorms have really cooled it down. It was 100 last week, like all week long, right around 100. And this week, like the high today is 82. Feels magical. It's a little humid now.
I can deal with 90 if I got it in August, but 100 is a little excessive for August for Utah. We get snow in the winter. I don't want to deal with 100-degree weather. Okay. I think we're good. I just had like a little spot where the paint must have not been dry, so then when I brushed it over, it pulled it off. Okay. I don't know why I have my molds out. I'm not molding anything. I think they were in the box. Essentially, Kimberly says, still over 100 in high humidity. Ew. I can't do that. I can't do high humidity and over 100. I would die. They said bag of corn chips is better. We call it Frito beans. When you layer like chili and then you do corn chips and your cheese and your taco toppings. That's kind of what we're doing for Odelia. She has her mission farewell coming up. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to feed the masses. And you just never know how many. There could be 200 people we wind up feeding.
Or there could be 10.
Or there's going to be more than 10.
There's more than 10 if me and our family and my brother's family show up.
Yeah, big number 10 cans of chili. I think they have them at the big Costco because we have a bigger Costco in Salt Lake. And then we're going to do, it's not going to be healthy, so close your ears if you eat clean, you're on your own. But
we mostly do, but every now and then you just gotta
do a nacho cheese, and then we'll do lettuce and tomatoes, and then either Fritos or tortilla chips, and that's what we're doing. And then I was thinking about just ordering Costco's sheet cake because it's relatively inexpensive to feed a lot of people. You could order like 3 sheet cakes and feed a couple hundred people because not everybody's gonna eat either that or trays of cookies. Although some people have asked, like, can they bring something? I'm like, just bring a dessert. So we'll see. But then I figure I can have some of the stuff already heated and ready to go. And if I see there's a long line, we're doing it at the park. I can drive home and heat it up real quick on the stove, open up a number 10 can, and move on with my life.
All right, I had this overlap just a little bit because I wasn't liking the way it was lining up.
Oh, that was smart to put a board underneath so you don't get dirty.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to get plum pudding on this if I don't put something in between me and the drop cloth. I'm going to go put this outside.
Oh, you know what? I just realized Roderick has agility. They switched it to 4.
Right now.
Is Odelia gone still? A back to school night? You might just have to miss. This is his last week anyways, because I was like, with back to school and football, he doesn't have time.
Well, and we've been working out in the morning. He missed this morning, but maybe we'll catch it this evening. Although after practice, he won't want to do that.
I will.
Jack's gonna.
Jack's
he's ready. Well, he had a nap. I went in there to put some clothes in his room, and Jack was passed out. So apparently he didn't get.
We
as
weren't
much
up
sleep.
too late. I mean, we got
Yeah,
done
but he
telling.
probably didn't sleep.
We got done
solid.
telling ghost stories probably about 10:30.
You always say that you sleep so good, but I feel like you don't. You always come home from campouts tired because you don't sleep as much like soundly.
I slept pretty good on that mattress.
Oh, did you take that queen size
Yeah,
mattress?
well, it's a full. It's not quite a
That's a
queen.
full.
But it's our friends had a mattress that they were getting rid of. It's basically like 8-inch memory foam.
It's a camper mattress that folds up, so it's like 2 pieces.
Yeah, out
they
of
were
a
getting rid of it, and
camper.
we saved it.
And so I took that camping. I was fine. And I took the big negative 35-degree sleeping bag.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
I actually had that open. I was sweating.
We have a very serious sleeping bag because when we went camping in the Uintas, it was very cold.
Although we did discover that Jack, like the rest of our children, probably going to have to get those tonsils out.
Oh, he's snoring.
He's a snorer.
I didn't know I snored.
Yeah, I didn't know you did either.
Sleep apnea is real. I think Eliza will probably wind up doing it after cheer tryouts. Like I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, when's the best time? After she does cheer tryouts, they get a couple weeks off. So I figure that'll be a good time to get her tonsils out. And Redrick will have to do it after football season. My kids get, because they snore so much, they have sleep apnea, and then they get their tonsils out, and it's better. The book looks fabulous, and Rosie also likes the candlesticks. Thank you. This provincial is just very sophisticated. So I'm going to get these dry, and then you can finish them however you want. What are you going to put on that plum pudding? I have the transfer back here if you want.
Do you want to do transfer? I was going to do a new stencil.
Okay, you can do a stencil if you want.
Yeah.
I should know. I have stencils over here.
That's what I was looking for. And then
Sorry,
I'm like, I think I
grabbed
saw
all the new stuff. It's all right there.
I put that book outside. Hopefully the wind's kicking up and it's hot. Sometimes it dries that liquid patina too fast before it can adhere to the paper and the book, and the wind will flap it around a little bit. You can just put some more liquid patina on it or iron it if that happens. If it dries too fast. I was leaving it over on the table over there inside, but it wasn't getting dry. It's too cool in here, I guess.
You know what I did since you were gone yesterday? I turned the AC to 74 last night.
How did it feel?
It felt great. I was like, if I don't turn the air conditioning,
I noticed the fan was
if I
down
don't turn the
real low
heat,
too.
like turn it up to 74, I won't have Zeb here to keep me. Brody and Redrick coming over?
It's later.
No, it's Brody. I think they're coming over here before practice. If Zeb is a heater, so if I don't have him in bed with me, I will freeze because I am cold all the time. So since he was camping, I had to turn the air conditioning to 74.
Should I just do white on this?
I think it would look good, or like the cream color.
What if I did it in?
I would do cream. So take the white and mix some provincial in it.
Okay.
The little boy that was camping with Zeb and Jack last night, who's really good friends with Jack, his older brother is good friends with Redrick. So Redrick was over at their house gaming it up while they were camping. Do you have evenings when our children make dinner? No. Well, they make their own dinner.
They help us cook occasionally, or sometimes we're like, hey, you're on your own.
We're not that scheduled at this time of year specifically. We have done it in the past. My kids all know how to cook. Like Jack will make a quesadilla, or he can make himself like a grilled sandwich. He knows how to make pasta. Just some basic stuff. If we don't cook dinner every night, like my kids will cook for themselves and do know how. We've been running a business long enough that our kids are all pretty independent. Jack's not allowed to use the stove if we're not home, or if an adult or a teenager isn't watching.
Although he cooks a mean
Like if
s'more.
Eliza and Redrick are home, he can use the stove, or my mom. And pretty much, I guess that's all the time. Somebody just has to know, I guess is the point. We don't leave Jack here without somebody else. Hello, Brody. Is Redrick here?
Yeah,
Is he
Redrick's
here?
been here. He's downstairs.
Oh, you just got dropped off. For some reason, I thought you were with Redrick. Okay, never mind. Ignore that comment. Cody, stop barking. He's probably in his basement. Oh, there he is.
He's in my room. Cody, you know him. Cody barks at me. Barks at everybody. If you come in the house, you're going to get barked at by Cody. All right.
These would have gone a lot faster if I had something to do in between, like if I was doing something else. But they've taken me a long time because I've had to.
Well, what are you doing with these? Why don't you finish those up?
Well, every time I touch these, I screw them up. So I'm trying to just get them dry and done. Do you spend some time running the shop alone in the beginning, or do you always have staff? We always have staff. So we don't have any shifts unless somebody is sick, or we are scheduled at the shop. Between 5 kids, 4 or 5 videos, design work, and painting everything, we definitely do not have time. We would live. No, that's not going to look good.
With the blue?
No.
Okay.
This shade's not good. I don't know what I'm going to put in
I told you need to wax that or something.
I know, but I think I want to do some sort of floral in there. But no, one of the things that I told Deb, because we kind of had our own shop by accident. Like we've always been resellers, but we had a space in somebody else's shop and they wound up ending their lease and we took it over. I was like, if I ever have to work there like all the time, then I don't want to do that anymore because we want to spend time with our kids. We want to grow our business, and it's impossible to do all the things we do and work at the shop. The other thing that happens too is we wouldn't get a lot of work done because people come in and they just want to chat, which is fine. But then you wind up chatting all day long.
Well,
and I'm getting work done.
I'm a what's your problem? Let me fix it for you. So if you have an issue with a paint or whatever, I'll troubleshoot that with you for an hour.
Yeah. But we will go in like if they need help with shipping, or sometimes we're at the shop because we're doing display work, but we don't have shifts there. That was a good question, Nikki. We used to have like regular days we'd be there filming, but we've been doing a lot of filming at home. So it just kind of depends. My mom lives with us too. She's 85. And so we try to be home for her and the dogs and the kids.
You know, in about 5 years, Jack will be 15. Redrick will be a senior in high school. Eliza will be doing whatever she's doing, probably college or running her own little empire of something or other. Who knows? Girl's going to be an entrepreneur. She's done just about everything under the sun.
Odelia?
Eliza.
Oh, I was like, Eliza? Odelia's going to be a teacher.
Odelia's packing her stuff up right now. Like, I'm going to put that in the top of the shop. And she probably will live with us for a couple weeks and then go right back into college and doing what she's doing.
Yeah, Odelia has her own little.
Like when she gets home off a mission, like she'll be 20. Like she's probably going to move out and do her own thing. The only reason she's been with us this long is because she's just been waiting to leave because she can't go until she's 19.
We're filming, yeah. Do you need something, Mom? Oh, okay. Will you have 3 kids home this year? Yes. So when Odelia leaves, we'll have 3 kids.
I was talking to a friend the other day about something not being as easy as it was 10 years ago. And he's like, I know, right? And I'm like, I'm just preparing to enter my grandpa phase. Like it's coming soon. I can feel it. It's right around the corner.
We're talking to him about working out. I saw the text pop up when I was doing something on your phone.
Well, I worked out so hard, I couldn't even hardly sit down. Like I had to like put my hand on the seat to sit down.
That could have happened to me in my 20s. I've had that happen a few times.
And I was like, well, that recovery is taking like an entire week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this up. We're going to stick with just walking at the
The
track.
Legacy Center is closed this week, so we haven't been getting our walks in. All right. I think I want to do white wax. I don't know. I think dark wax would be weird on these. What do you think, Seb?
I think you need to dark it. I think you need to dark wax that up and just go grungy with it, and whatever you put in there will look amazing.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you make the decision.
Are you scared? Don't be scared of the dark wax.
Do you have sandpaper?
It's not 2018. You can do it.
I can dark wax. I just don't want to.
I had sandpaper out here.
I know. That's what I thought.
I'm scanning, but I don't see it.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna second coat the other pot, and then maybe by then we'll have found my sandpaper.
So this is the new what is it? Fall bicycle.
Fall bicycle.
I think is what it's called, and it's pretty big. I want to say it's a solid 10 to 11 inches wide, and probably probably 9 inches
And it could
tall.
be anything bicycle. Just put some painter's tape over the pumpkins and use a different stencil on it, and it can be.
Yeah, it's got a basket on it and a handle. But it also comes in the mini pack too if you want a small version of it.
I don't know if this is gonna work. You know what? I'm just gonna paint the sides, and then when I put the moss on it, I'll just put the moss over the blue. And
Is
move
this
on
our
now.
very first bicycle stencil? I don't think we have a bicycle stencil other than this.
Have we not had one? I don't know. Don't mind me.
It's that point in the live stream where there's stuff everywhere.
That's what I want to. I feel like when I dark wax, like I make a big mess. All right, polka dots are getting more coverage.
I can dark wax it.
All right. This is so much better than that blue polka dot situation.
So this cream I made has the definite gray tone to it because I used the Provincial. The mix is probably, camera, 2 parts white linen
Oh, the camera paused.
to 1 part Provincial.
What happened?
I don't know.
Hold on just a second.
Let me kick it off real quick.
We're going to fix it maybe. My camera's like, you've been live for too long.
Hold on. They should still have sound.
Yeah, they can still hear us. Sorry, guys, we're getting it fixed. Okay, I see us back.
Yeah, we're back.
And we're back. Sorry about that,
It
guys.
may be overheating. I don't know.
We've been on too long.
It's probably due for a software update, something. I don't know. I can't keep track of all
Probably needs to be
that.
replaced, but I'm not going to replace it till I absolutely have to.
Oh, it's 5 years old now, Jamie. We got it right before we started building this house.
I feel like we got it later than that.
It was April before we bought the house. Which we got the house in July of 2019. Got the keys July 8th, I think. And we started demo that evening. Pulled out like 4 walls that evening in this old part of the house.
They said to dark wax the frame, and then you could put the crow paper in it. Would the crow fit there? Would it be too?
The raven?
Or the raven. Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a raven. There's a distinct difference between ravens and crows. They have different beaks.
I actually just like this.
Although they're both pretty smart.
It won't steal stuff.
They're both scavengers. But both will also hunt if given the opportunity. Okay, I think we got this whole stencil done.
Paint is on there very well. I just not want to stand off.
So you could do all kinds of different colors, but on something like this, I feel like the 2 different colors works great. All right, now I need to get this back in the thing, the ring that it's got here.
And that has a built-in sealer, so that'll be done.
Yep, I'm finished. I'm gonna have to do new holes for the Oh, that looks good. Okay.
That's
Gotta
really cute.
line these handles up so I don't have an eye twitch looking at it. All right, that looks pretty good there. What do you guys think?
All of the things we're painting have already been listed, so we'll just have to update the listing if they haven't sold yet. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah Hortman says, talking about stencils, the quality of your stencils is A+. Thank you. As a refinisher, repurposer, reseller, like something that's really important to me is that my stuff holds up. And so when we design these stencils, we just went as heavy duty as we could with them. And I remember my manufacturer telling me, like, Jamie, you're making construction stencils, like the kind they cement on the ground. I was like, perfect. That'll work.
She's like, those should be able to hold up to me.
Yeah, and everybody
And they
else.
do.
The post office tore a stencil and put a sorry sticker on. Yeah, email info@jamierayvintage.com and Caitlin will put in a claim and get a new stencil mailed to you. I love that they put the sorry sticker. They're like, sorry.
They knew they'd done bad.
Like, thanks, but I don't want my stencil ripped.
I mean, not even most. I think everything we ship out has some sort of insurance on it.
Yeah.
So if you get something damaged, take a picture of it, send it to Caitlin. High chance we didn't send it to you.
Save all the packaging in the box and everything.
We just had a package that went out UPS. It was like half full of peanuts and the thing was broken inside. I guarantee you didn't leave us like that. UPS had taped the box back shut and after it lost half its peanuts.
It was actually the post office.
Or was it the post office?
Yep.
Anyway, sorry UPS. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
Yeah, it's not the company, it's just people that work for it. And with USPS, it can also be their sorting machine. Like if it's ripped, it might have got stuck in a machine and they pulled it out. Because it's going to take a lot to rip our stencils. All right. This is all done and sealed up. It's got a little bit of distress on it, but I think it turned out pretty good. And I actually have a ton of this milk paint left. Like I probably have as much as I used, I have that much left after all these projects.
I wonder if I have my fine. This is like a #1 Phillips, or very tiny Phillips on here. Nope. I don't think that's going to be. Oh, maybe.
To use maybe I could wet distress this and.
Nope, that's just going to strip that out.
It's not wanting to come off. Now, just know if you get your milk paint wet like this and wet distress, you risk that it could all chip off. In fact, that bucket I did the other day, I got to repaint it. Looked fine on camera, but when it actually dried, it was a little much. Everything else was fine, but that bucket was next level. This almost looks like paint wasn't quite like there's like flecks, but I don't know if it's from.
Is that from the dirt that
The
you were
dirt?
blowing out?
I don't think so, because it's like a darker green.
So I'm looking at these old holes that the screws were in. This was twisted crooked from the handles over an inch, which says to me a machine did it or no one cared.
Probably both.
The quality control guy didn't care either.
What did we seal the stencil with? We did not seal the stencil because we used our cottage color paint, the Jamie Ray Vintage cottage color paint that DIY makes for us, and it has a built-in sealer. So it's good to go. Thanks, Lori. She likes this green color. nice and smooth. I'm sanding it, laid down pretty flat. Something you can kind of see. Can you see the speckles in there? I think it might have just been the mix of the milk paint. I don't know. I'm going to go with it. Not going to fight it. I'm going to go with the green. Oh, shoot a monkey. So I got too many projects going here. All right, there we go. It's not where I wanted provincial.
All right, I like it. It's ready for fall. And honestly, if you're going to be setting stuff on this, it might just look like a bicycle up underneath and no one's going to notice. You'd use it year round.
Debating on whether or not I want to put transfers on this. Because it's going to have those hooks on it. What do I got in here? My transfer repertoire.
I don't know. Are you wanting me to dark wax these?
What? Yeah. I would do it, but I'm so busy transferring right now, I can't.
I'm going to set them outside for a second because they're still wet.
I'm going to put some transfers on here. That's what I'm going to do. I need scissors. I know I had them.
They're over there. Somewhere in my
Hiding.
pile of stuff.
They're hiding. Zeb, you should do this for a living. Well, kind of he does. We actually met with cousins we hadn't met before, and they were asking if we did okay, you know, financially, if we're doing okay with this business. And my other cousin that like watches us and follows us was like, yeah, they do good. This is what they do for a living. Because some people can, running an antique and a flipping business is a lot. It takes a lot of work to get to the point where you're actually successful enough to where you can make a living at it.
All right, that sucked down really good. I might do one more coat over a couple of the edges. I'm going to distress the edges though and see what we get.
So I'm using part of the Rose Botanical transfer, and I'm trying to make sure that there's flowers in between, like where you're actually going to see them. So I'm going to have to be a little smart by where I'm putting it. Can you pass me the hook so I can kind of see what they're going to cover?
There is wet paint on your sandpaper.
Yes, there is. Can you pass me the hooks?
Yep.
They love your faux book.
Thanks. I'm liking it myself. I feel like it turned out pretty good.
I'm not going to put the transfer on the hooks. I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting the transfer and that I have it where you're actually going to see it in between it.
So the paper went over just a little bit. I cut it just slightly larger so that that would happen. And now I'm just basically sand cutting it off, which is also distressing it and kind of blurring that edge that you can sometimes get when you decoupage. It gets rid of that.
We do have a lot of irons in the fire, but it's fun. So I was talking to Zeb's cousin, Marlise. It's either Marlise or Marlene, and she's probably in her 70s, maybe in her 80s. And
I would say
she was
80s.
asking me lots of questions, and I haven't actually had people ask me that many questions about my life in a long time. And she was just letting me talk, asking me about my kids, how many kids, what we do for work.
We hadn't seen her in a long
what
time.
Sports. Well, I haven't met her ever.
I haven't seen her since I was probably 15 at Aunt Joanne's funeral.
And she said, yeah, we talked about Aunt Joanne. Aunt Joanne actually passed away before.
A couple years before we
dating.
dated.
And it was just fun to talk to her. And she said, isn't it wonderful? And I just thought, it is. It's a wonderful time of life. Like, it's busy. There's a lot going on, but it is wonderful. So that's the way I'm going to look at it. Isn't it wonderful? Busy, lots of irons in the fire, but it's good. I cannot complain. The paper is here now, Lori.
It's available.
It's available at JamieRayVintage.com. It's our medium rice paper. We released it a couple weeks ago. We had a video for that, but not everybody has seen the video. So Caitlin's not on here because she had to go to back to school night. But if you can't find the paper, let me know. I can stop what I'm doing and drop the link.
If you go to the drop down, that's it's like JRV paper or JRV decoupage, or even if you just type in the words rice paper, it'll bring it up on the website. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it alone. It doesn't have any wrinkles, so I don't need to iron it or anything. It did have some wrinkles when we first got started, and that's something to note. Because the paper gets wet, it's going to make it want to do this, and you will see some wrinkles, and you're going to like feel like you need to overwork it and brush it a bunch. Just leave it alone. This rice paper 9 times out of 10 will smooth out on its own really well. As that dries out, it sucks it back down to whatever you're decoupaging. Also, if it doesn't, if you still have a couple wrinkles that you just don't love, you can iron them out if it's a flat surface.
Use something like lint-free over the top of it.
Yeah,
no water.
No water in your iron. No water in your iron.
Don't burn the paper. Like, be careful.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
But there you go. It's done.
Yes, Lisa, we are live. The other floral. Oh, this transfer that I'm using? Everything we're using is available. So this floral is Rose Botanical, and this is an Iron Orchid Designs transfer and is available on the website. So because I was kind of cautious about my what parts I'm using, I've actually only used like 1 flower. I thought I might have to do 2, but I think 1 is going to get me where I need to be. The prototype. Oh, so the prototype was just bigger, wasn't it, Zeb?
What?
You said the prototype paper? Were you using a prototype?
No, it was a little bit to do the back end. I had an extra paper that just needs used up. That one's not available.
That one won't be available, but we have the one that's close enough.
Jamie liked the version with the blue better, and we were going to do both papers, but they're so similar. We decided to just go with the one that, oops, I'm going to have to fix that, that Jamie liked with the blue. So that one's not, I know. I used the paper that you can't have. Sorry.
The other one is pretty close.
I mean, they're really similar.
So we have to be careful. You can't have everything because then you have too many papers. It makes it kind of problematic for your retailers. And then you wind up shipping the wrong paper. That happens. Okay, I'm going to lightly distress this and then clear wax it. And Deb's going to put the hooks on this. And I just used 1 flower. I didn't even use this other one.
Did you get the dark wax out?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But I need my sandpaper back.
Hold on. Just a second.
All right, I'll go get you dark wax.
Perfect.
Do you have a wax brush over there?
The clear wax brush is over here. That's it.
Okay.
Now, this is milk paint, so it's like the DIY clay base formula. You're going to want to clear wax it first before you dark wax over your milk paint. Reason being, it will get really muddy and completely change the color of your paint and not just be an accent if you don't. And sometimes you want that.
When you're done with that, let
But
me
if you
know.
don't, clear wax it first.
And then these, I just need to clear wax this. And then this is done. And this is going to get these hooks on it. I think it's going to be, it looks kind of disjointed because they're pretty separated, but that's because there's going to be hooks in between. I'm just going to set these over here.
Okay. All right, we need to figure out, are we going to see if those ones will work?
What?
If we dark wax this? Or
there's
is the
green
blue
paint
and the
on it.
green going to be too different?
You can do whatever you want.
Maybe we'll test it and let the audience decide.
But you know what I'm going to do? Repaint this because there's green paint on it. I may be splattered green paint.
It's just extra texture.
It's extra texture. It's fun because we're in a stage of life where we have kids in all different stages. We have 2 adult children, 2 teenagers, and 1 adolescent. And at one point we had 2 teenagers, 2 adolescents, a toddler. Like when you have 5 and you don't have them super close together, then you have multiple different ages at the same time.
Or you brought me black.
Well,
Black wax, not dark. Which is fine.
I didn't read it. I actually just...
I was like, this is looking darker.
I'm just distressing this so that way you can wax these too.
Okay, I'm ready. So I'm going kind of fast because I'm just going to slap this on here and then we're going to wipe as much as we can back off of this.
I'm just lightly distressing this with 220 sandpaper over this provincial to bring out some of that undertone, smooth out maybe areas where I didn't paint it perfectly. Not that I would ever do that, but
Well, you're a perfect painter.
so far from it. But the paint is actually stuck really well, so not a lot coming off.
That's okay. The dark wax.
This is mint chip. No, this is willow, Vicky. This is willow milk paint. You can buy it in Farmhouse Finishes or Sweet Pickens. It's 35% off, no code needed at JamieRayVintage.com.
Until the end of August.
Until the end of August 2024. Let me find milk paint. I'll just use the search. There's a little magnifying glass on our website, and that's sometimes the easiest way to find stuff.
It's the fastest for me. I always use it because I'm always looking for something specific to link for somebody. And so I just go straight there and then type in
So
what
I
I'm
dropped the
looking
link
for.
to the milk paint. You don't need to use a code, but you'll save your 35% until the end of August. It's the milk paint color of the month.
Okay, that came off pretty good. If you wanted more off than this, you could clear wax over the top of this again and pull more back.
I am going to say, I don't think the bikes are going to look good. I think we need some sort of floral or something. I don't know. Actually, the pink looks really great. So if we don't have anything, we might just have to design something for it.
What?
And then we can sell it.
I could put the rest of this paper in there.
Oh.
Those are really big.
No, I like that. That
You
would
like
be
that
cool.
idea? Okay.
But I would wait until you're done dark waxing. Showing it everywhere. And piling up your dark wax stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would actually look really good.
So this paper I'm using,
Or I should say black wax. Sorry.
it was a prototype, but it led us to doing the blue paper that is available. They're almost identical, except for there's blue flowers and some of the flowers are smaller. In the wildflower medium paper.
Vicky says, I love that new paper. Thanks, Vicky. Do you have it in your shop? I know Vicky's one of our retailers. We actually just got a new wholesale order in today. I was going to look at it and make sure we didn't need to print some more stuff out tonight for it. We keep a good selection, but occasionally when we have a wholesale order, we'll sell a lot of something. And we got to get to printing. Okay, these are ready for dark wax.
Okay.
I'm going to...
Do you want to start? Do we have the glass out of these and you can just put the glass over what you want and cut those out?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do we need to wash the glass? Is it gross?
Yeah.
You would be
gross.
surprised how dirty frame glass is. when you pick it up from the thrift store.
I'm not surprised because I'm a thrifter. Anybody that's been a thrift
Sometimes
store,
I'm like, who was touching this? Who was touching this picture like 1,000 times?
I don't know. What about your dogs that always got to touch my windows? We don't have like toddlers
They do
anymore,
touch the windows a lot.
but we do have puppy nose prints. We have glass in all of our windows.
They love looking out of them too.
Rex gets his little nose up there, and Cody gets his little paws up there, and they get them all kinds of dirty. Yes, glass in all of our doors, windows, and all. I don't know what I said. I have glass in all my doors. Okay. Do you have a pen? A Mickey Mouse pen in here.
So if you can't, I don't think you can see what Jamie's doing. Her head's just barely peeking in occasionally. Down below, they're not going to be able to see it. She's tracing out on that paper what she wants to cut out with the glass, the piece of glass, so that it's just the right size for the frame. So these ones, different paint. This is the all-in-one built-in sealer, cottage color. I don't have to put the clear wax over the top. We're just going to go straight with the black wax. And I'm probably just going to go full coverage just like I did on those other frames. And we'll wipe it back. It will change it a little bit. But they'll just darken it up. So we went from black to provincial. Now we're making it black again.
It's a layered paint finish. I did get a decent burn from that heat gun.
I'm sure you're feeling it.
I'm going to put some cream on it later with a little bit of lavender oil. It's fine. Sometimes you got to put a little DNA on your projects. It's like a little signature, you know?
Well, you know what my dad says, right?
What?
If you don't bleed on it, it wasn't a good job.
Well,
The farm boy in him bleeds on a lot of stuff. That's downstairs. They're fine. Someone just screamed, I don't know if the mic picked it up, down in the basement in Redrick's room.
they must be playing on the Switch or something.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Jack, would you go check on Redrick and Brody? Don't bang on that.
So the vent over here in the kitchen is real close to, or in the dining room, to Redrick's room. And so in the morning when I want him to get up, I just go bang on that vent and yell at him down the vent. And Jack was just banging on the vent and shushing them. I don't think you're going to get the same results as I do when you do that, Jack. You might get an angry brother upstairs.
What is that amazing cream you promote in your shop? Are you talking about like face cream? One of my favorite creams is Counting Sheep. Is that, oh, you're probably talking about, that would be actually work very well on my burn. And I do have some. Maybe I'll put that some on there. Nikki,
Doesn't it
thank
have
you
like
for reminding me.
frankincense in there?
What? Yes. It's so good.
All right, I'll let this sit on there while I wax this other one. But it's time to pull this off because the wax will start to dry out fairly quick on you. And then at that point, you're just buffing. You're not wiping back.
You got a little aggressive with the black wax in here.
I had a big brush.
It's all right. I got it. I got you. Oh, I forgot. I put them right here.
Don't sit down on those.
Nope.
Hey, Jack, it's okay.
Jack, it's okay. I got a little bit of art in that one. And we're going to have to This happens a lot with these, like the backs will come off. So I'm gonna get some hot glue.
I had it hot glued earlier, but I didn't do a good job.
Oh, you did that? Yeah, and that'll hold it in place a little better. I feel like we need to put a little piece of cardboard in there too, like behind the picture.
I have my cardboard here if you want to.
This one doesn't have, this one is like gonna hang on the wall only. This one does not have the thingy on the back. Oh, this is the one you glued. I can see the hot glue.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to.
The other
fix.
one also needs it.
It's going to need a different kind of glue, I think.
No, this one's fine. It's the other one. There we go. All right, this one doesn't have the thing to. What the heck did you do to this?
I didn't do anything to it.
The glass is not. Yeah, it just needs cardboard.
You got the right glass in there?
Yes. All right, ta-da! I'll cut cardboard afterwards.
All right, you want to show them the difference between this one dark waxed or black waxed and the other one?
See, this one is missing the little thingamajigger that goes on the back. But it
Yeah,
has
I
these...
have it right here.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I hot glued it and it came off.
Oh,
I didn't do a
I
good
thought
job.
you were talking about this piece, like this part is coming up.
Oh, no.
Off camera, we will be fixing these all the way.
Here,
You make
what
your
I need,
own face cream. I do not. I have an apothecary. She's in Washington, and she makes it. All the ingredients are listed. There's no extra fillers added in any of the JRB beauty products. And there's a limit to the amount of stuff I can do and do well. So I don't do that.
I mean, could we? I'm about to grow my own wheat just as an experiment.
Yeah. I really liked her product, and she's like, I can custom do a line for you with all your favorite things that you like. And so it's been a great relationship. We don't sell a ton because I don't promote it as much as I should, but I love it and I use all the products, so it's worth it to me. It's on my list of things I'd like to do more is promote that product more. Okay, those look really good.
I need you to show them close the difference between distressed and and
Okay.
waxed.
Let me just clear wax this.
Okay.
This is dark wax, clear wax. So you can see the difference. Can you fix the camera? You can see the difference between a dark wax piece and just clear wax over the willow. And then dark wax, clear wax.
Dark wax, no wax.
Or no wax, sorry. Dark wax, no wax, yeah, because that doesn't have it. You've got a little bit of a spot here where it looks a little streaky.
Do you need to add some clear wax?
Yep, pull it back. Those look really good.
Yeah, I'm liking them.
Mary thought I was Superwoman. I am not. If you say yes to everything, you say no to some things. And there are some things like my kids, Deb, my church calling, my family, that I don't want to say no to. So I got to put a limit on it for sure. All right. I'm looking at what we have going on here. I'll just finish this. This, I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm just going to leave the provincial on here. And then I will just come put new moss on it. Renee uses JRB Glow, and she loves it to keep her skin moisturized in good old Yuma, Arizona. I might need to do another coat of this on here. But I'm going to let it dry really well before I do. So I think that this either I dripped or the paint.
It had
form
something
dripped.
underneath too. It had like a lot of.
So
I don't think
that
that was the first paint finish that I was sanding off.
Yeah, I'm going to let this dry all the way. Let it cool down, sand it smooth, and then put another coat of provincial. Of course, I just put my brush in the wash, so that'll be off camera. Just going to let it dry. pull all the little projects we've done so we can show you guys. Zeb, has somebody bought this box over here? Do we need to stencil that real quick?
No, that one's
Okay.
not sold yet, so it can wait.
It can wait. All right.
But we got, like, that's the only thing left. Other than that pewter, I got to hammer straight.
No, the pewter's not hammering straight. Oh, the little,
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about this piece that needs to be
No,
glued.
that piece needs
Has to be
some
soldered.
extra soldering love.
Where do these, are these the screws for the hooks?
Yep. Give me just a sec before you get going, and I will
You'll put them on
screw
there for
those
me?
on. Yeah. So I can sense that you're ready to move on to
I'm
dinner.
I am ready to move on to Mexican food, but I just am arranging these things so that way the people of YouTube and Facebook can see all of our little projects we like to show off. We've been a couple hours, I think.
I know. Well, we got a lot done.
Yeah. I'm going to go this way. I'm not going to go that way and bump those. Okay, grab the hooks. So this is all of our willow that's right here. Zeb's going to give you guys a close-up so you can see what we did with the paint color of the month. I also like to clean up my mess a little bit too. So it looks a little more presented, presentive, that's not a word. Presentable. All we did on this was we painted the edges, but we did it, so it's going over here.
Did you get all my stuff over there that I fixed?
I'm working on it.
That people probably didn't even see because it was real fast at the beginning of the video?
Well, the paper towel holder sold while we were fixing it. I'm just going to go over here too.
Might be time for a new paper towel. Can you let that dog in?
Yeah.
Or he drives me crazy.
I got you a new paper towel right there.
Cody's back here yipping at the door. He can hear us. He knows we can hear him. And we're ignoring him. And he will not be ignored. What I usually do when he's doing that is I go open the door. I tell him to be quiet. And then I close the door on him. Because I don't want to train him that if he yips, I open the door.
He's very scared, Dad. Come here. Let me hold you. Say hi to my friends. Oh, Rex got left out there. Come on, Rex. Let's go.
Rex doesn't yip at the door. He scratches the door. He paws at it.
Yeah, we got to repaint
Like,
all
thanks
the
for
doors.
that, Rex.
All right.
Oh, you coming up in here too?
I can't lift you up in the air because you're too big. You're too big, Rexy. He
Okay,
does.
so-
I don't know if it's a doodle thing, and most people don't realize he's a doodle because he's black. But he rubs up against you, and he will get his attention.
There are actually quite a few black doodles. There's a Facebook page for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Carol says, thanks for the video. I had fun clear waxing, then dark waxing antique frames for my husband's family while watching. Oh, I'm glad you got your projects done. Anybody else do some projects along with us? We actually did get a lot of things flipped.
Where's my book?
Oh, I forgot your book. Cody, you want to go get Dad's book?
Okay. The waxing on these, they have more detail than it looks like. It's taken almost as long as painting them did.
Well, and in real life, you can see the wax more. I saved a spot for it right there, and then I'll put the book. Once we move this, I'll have a spot for the book.
Okay. All right. I'm almost, just got to get this bottom
This is a fake box, book box.
book box.
It's like, oh, she sat down again. Kelly painted her nails. Vicky napped a little, not 100%. Everything looks great. Thank you, Laura. How are you doing, Laura? I have not talked to you in a while. Laura said I would be painting, but I'm at work. Laura's a good little painter. All right, you want to do this one real quick, Zeb, or are you going to do that off camera?
Oh, yes.
I think it'll look a lot better once you put the hooks on there.
I almost forgot.
Well, here's the situation. We've taken long enough now that you have to go on the roof tomorrow because A, it's windy, and B, I'm going to have to take the boys to football.
I don't care about the wind or you taking the boys to football.
I need to be here when you're on the roof. Everybody on YouTube and Facebook need you to be
I
here.
roofed this entire roof
I was over here
without
a
you
lot.
here most of the time.
Most of the time you were on the roof, I was over here, or I drove by in between taking kids places. What kind of wax did you put on the 3 tall candlesticks? Just dark wax. Because
DIY.
DIY
wax.
dark or black wax.
Or black, yes. Black.
DIY black wax over the top of the Provincial Cottage Colored Paint by Jamie Ray Vintage. Because the cottage color paint has a built-in sealer, you don't have to clear than dark. You just can go right over. I did use a little clear where a few spots were streaky, but just kind of like as an eraser. Laura, you got dinner ready. Karen's working on embroidery. I love embroidery. I wish I could do it. I don't have dexterity. In fact, I've had arthritis for a while, but usually it's because I'm doing something with my hands. But last night, my knuckle on my middle finger on my left hand was just killing me. And I'm like, oh, here it goes.
It's because I was gone. I wasn't here to rub your hand.
Yeah, sometimes Deb does rub my hands because they hurt. Definitely safety first when it comes to heights. Carol says somebody needs to be there.
Well, of course they're going to agree with you.
It's my friends.
There's 2 boys in the
They
basement.
would like for you to come with me to Mexican food. I feel like it'll be fun.
I got a flashlight. I'll get up in there and look at it
They
tonight.
had a friend that fell off the roof, and her daughter was 5 at the time and had to run for help because they didn't have somebody there. And if you fall
I'm
off
not
the roof,
saying it doesn't
and
happen.
only my mother is here, she's going to freak out. Although my mom thinks she can do anything. She goes for walks sometimes. And it's like, I forgot to tell anybody. So last night you were gone and went down. There you go. Good job. Anyways, my mom went to go for a walk and I was pretty tired and I asked Odelia, I said, can you walk your grandma? So Odelia and grandma went on a walk. Because it was starting to get dark.
Okay.
Bye.
And that looks amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. It looks more cool because what I did was and it's not like perfect. There's something in between each one, but they're all a little bit different.
All right. So these bowls just got tongue oil. This got Ironworker Designs transfer. This got a transfer from Ironworker Designs. This has decoupage paper in there. And
Leftovers from this.
the milk paint color of the month. That's a book box.
Actually, this is the front zip.
Oh, well, whatever. It's made to lay down.
Yeah, just put this side out.
Of course I did it. Of course I did it wrong. Look at me go.
It's okay. It's just that's the better side.
And then Provincial over here. The back on that is plum pudding, and that's the fall bicycle stencil with like a mix of, I used white linen and Provincial.
Yeah. Makes a really good cream. And then this we just fix the sides. Deb just fixed this. And everything that's going to that hasn't sold already, I'll get a photograph either today or tomorrow. I'll get them updated. It's kind of overcast, so I don't know if I'm going to get good pictures. So we'll get those updated. But you can also find what it looked like before and just buy that item if you want any of these at jamierayvintage.com. They're all listed. And we used Willow, so don't forget to grab some of that while it's on sale this month. And we'll see you tomorrow for Waste Not Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. If you like this video, please share it out. Give us a thumbs up. And subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more.
DIY.
We'll see you on the next episode.